He always thinks, I'm the big one, you're the small one, I'll beat you.
Yeah, but I remember reading something that in like the original comics that Megatron, like, he was a really good tactical leader, but whenever they lost like some strategic advantage, that he would in fact like retreat because
But he
just to make
makes the
sure.
other ones run in there.
Well, yeah,
He told Starscream, come on, let's go.
yeah. Basically, in the movie they really ruined a lot of the characters' character.
Bumblebee. Bumblebee is my biggest, I mean, in the first one, I kind of was okay with the first one, because as you can see, he was a lot smaller than all the others.
Yeah.
But in this one, did you see how big, I mean, like, the big thing, if you haven't looked at the movie yet, this isn't really a spoiler or anything if you're listening. If you look whenever they're out, well, I guess it is a spoiler. Never mind. Dang it. But if you look out whenever they're in that, air quote, tomb in the desert, Bumblebee's waiting outside, and you can tell how tall he is compared to everyone else. I mean, he's not supposed to be that tall. I'm using hand gestures, even though you can only hear my voice.
Yes, anime gestures for the win.
Dang it. But, I mean, it's just... if they kept him a scout...
Yeah, that would have been, like I said, it really came out about, they just kind of ruined all the characters overall as characters.
I remember before the first one came out, I heard about Bumblebee, and at the time, it didn't hit me. It was going to be Bumblebee from the first... Bumblebee was only there for one whole season. Everything else was Hotshot.
Yeah.
He was always my favorite, Hotshot. Because he was the race car, and he was, I mean, he was, I guess, the remake of Bumblebee, even though it's crappy. Okay,
anyway,
let's go to a new movie or new subject or something.
Okay, is there any games coming out that you're looking forward to?
I did pre-order the Halo 3 ODST. I pre-ordered that.
What does that stand for, by the way, ODST? I'm not a real big Halo person, so I don't like follow it entirely. So.
Orbital Drop Shock Trooper.
Okay.
And basically, it's based between Halo 2 and Halo 3 when you're an ODST, an Orbital Drop Shock Trooper. They're the guys pretty much goes in there through pods into the heavy places, even though, there's going to be a Halo guy, geek out there that's going to be trying to correct me, but pretty much they're just the guys that go in pods, go in the heavy armed areas, and take out the enemy. They're really... I love the OD. I mean, if you see my guy on Halo 3 Live, I have the helmet, and it's just... I like him better than Master Chief. That's how much I like him. And I'm actually kind of interested to see how they're going to bring out a new character. The Rookie, that's going to be the guy that, when you're in the story mode, you're going to be this guy named the Rookie, and go through around and try to look for your teammates, and you collect items, and it sends you through this, what happened to the teammates before they went missing.
That's one thing I always have a big hang-up about in FPSs, that, when you start out, for the most part, you're basically what you're going to end up with the exception of, maybe getting some newer weapons along the way, stuff like that. I really feel it should have some sort of, like, kind of like Mass Effect, have like some sort of RPG element where as you go through, you get better, so to speak, because it should only make sense that, when you start out a game, you start out like not as good as you would be when you end up.
Yes. I'm a fan of Halo 3 and Mass Effect. In fact, I bought Mass Effect just so that I'll be able to have a character before I buy Mass Effect 2. I didn't want to do this whole standard thing. But I like Mass Effect a lot better than Halo 3 because you have to get your character better, of course.
Yeah.
Like, I hated snipes before on Mass Effect, and I just hated it. I would never be able to get on the guy unless I had just enough time, and I never used it to the last level, and I regret it because at the last level I upped all my stuff not expecting my snipe to get better, and I used it, and all of a sudden it was like, holy crud. It's just like a snipe on Halo 3. I was able to point there, and it wouldn't move at all.
Exactly.
And
That's one of the big hang-ups I have, like I said, a big hang-up I have with first-person shooters, that you basically just start off with.
There was an article on it was either we were talking about this for a Game Informer or Xbox Magazine. I actually all of a sudden remember Powers. It might be Game Informer, but they were talking about their favorite game types. Like, okay. Anyway, they had this thing based around what was their favorite game type, like RPGs, horror, Slayer, all that crap or whatever. I don't really remember. Strategy, and shooter was one of them. And they said they didn't like shooter at all. You can look this up. You won't be able to correct me or anything. They said it's pretty repetitive. All you do is shoot things with a gun, and you can switch guns and shoot more things, or you can just get more ammo and shoot it with that same gun. It doesn't matter if it's a rocket or a laser. You just kill stuff with a gun. You have pretty much the same strategy you do from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
And a big example of this repetitive or this repeating stuff is on the Halo trilogy. As you look at everyone's a big thing. We have this kid at our school that's like a huge fan of Halo, Brian. Yes, Brian. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. You don't say his name. We don't want.
Oh, I know.
But he has like every Halo item. I've actually been to his house. He has a whole bunch of Halo parties. I got invited one time, and he's like had like 20 people system linked on there, and you go in his room, and he's just full of Halo merchandise. He has all the action figures. He even has this little plasma rifle toy that if you shoot enough times, guess what? It overheats. And I mean, it was the coolest toy I've ever seen at the time because I was a freshman. But now I look back on it, it's a big waste of money.
Yeah. But back to the shooter thing. I mean, I do like first-person shooters, I'll admit. I'm thinking about going out and getting the Conduit soon. Maybe just...
That is going to be... That I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Because the Nintendo's trying a whole new thing.
Honestly, I do think the Wii is one of the better systems for a first-person shooter next to the computer.
It'll be more just shoot. It won't be more of a hit-a-button thing. It'll be...
Well, you're still hitting a button, just... You get more of a feel for it. And, I mean, I think the Wii is probably the best next to a computer for first-person shooter, but it's just that they really don't exploit it enough. But anyway, the other thing I have about first-person shooters is that, yeah, it gets really repetitive. It's honestly the least expansive as far as the genre goes as to what you're doing differently, because all it is basically just certain tweaks to the same system. I mean, I know that, like, don't fix it if it's not broken, but I mean, honestly, you're basically you've been doing the same thing between every game as it is. It's just...
If you look at it, Bungie is, even though, once again, I want to say it again, some Halo geeks going to comment, if they even listen to this, and they're going to say, hey, there's a whole campaign to it, and pretty much, no, it's not. You are Master Chief, you found out you're Master Chief, and you, like, in Halo 3, you just wake up as him, and, I mean, it's pretty, you're Master Chief. You beat some brutes, then halfway in the middle, you meet the Flood. And, it's a harder enemy. You have to get a bit more tactical.